Hey fam, welcome to Word of Impact, where the content is too long for Instagram, too deep to snap, and too complex to tweet. Here you will find my personal experiences told in many art forms such as dance, song, spoken word, and even TED Talks. Word of Impact is an overflow but tied to my podcast, Musical Chairs Podcast, or MC Podcast for my MC listeners, where you will hear interviews from others about their brand, events, and their life experiences. So however you rock with me, be sure to tune in to be impacted, empowered, and challenged to be the best version of yourself. Thank you for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye, fam.
Hey fam, I hope we're all having a wonderful day. I just really wanted to get on and talk about my journey thus far. I just started rolling the camera. Don't know where to start. But I just know that it is time for me to talk about it. So here it goes. In April this year, April 24th to be exact, I walked away from a job. I was completely depressed. I was coming home very drained, didn't want to be there. Just like, I'm over this. I'm not happy here. I wasn't able to function in my regular job, as well as give energy to anything else that I had on my plate at the current time, which to me was just absolutely unlike me, because I have so much energy and I have so much to give, and I have so much to offer. I really couldn't do that with where I was, and so what ended up happening is I didn't know which way I was going to go. I didn't know where my next check was going to come from. I didn't know how bills were going to get paid. I just knew that that was a moment for me to completely walk away from something that did not bring or serve me any purpose. And so I was just tired, absolutely drained from just giving my all somewhere where I felt like I was underappreciated. I felt like I was unqualified, not in a bad way, just the situation that I was put in. I felt like I could have been trained in that area to be a better help in the environment, and that wasn't offered to me to do so. And so I felt like I was helpless in the situation, and it absolutely did not help in that instance. And so I left. I said yes to myself, and I said no to anything that didn't serve me any purpose there. And so just to line it up, is that for those that know me, I absolutely love God. You don't love God? What's wrong with you? But I absolutely love Him, and there were hard conversations where sometimes it was just tears. It was just me sitting in silence. It was me talking out loud, and most of it was sometimes anger, because I wanted to figure out why I was put in such a situation that was so hard for me to handle at the time. And so I kind of blamed God about it, because I felt like He placed me there. The job came looking for me. Yes, I did apply, but you know how the weeks go by, months go by, and you don't hear anything back. It was like one of those calls. So I believe that it was God. When I walked through those doors at that particular job, I felt like that's where I was supposed to be. And yes, I left an impact there. I believe I did, because I still see some of those people, and they ask, why did I leave, or they wish I would come back and things like that. So I guess my job was done there, but like I just clearly was just unhappy, completely unhappy. Felt like I was just doing work and not really loving the job that I was in. And so I walked away with that in mind, is that this does not make me happy. And I think that was the first time that I actually chose me and not actually coming up with a plan on how I was going to get through the weeks and the months and things of that nature. Now, yes, granted, I was holding down 2 other jobs at the time, and they were able to sustain me, but ultimately, I was just getting by with those jobs. And so, God is God. No matter how you treat him, no matter how you feel about him, and that you think he's not there, he's there. And that's the moment that I had for myself. And my pastor has been talking about having true, like knowing the true grace of God. And I believe that this was a season where God was doing that for me. He was helping me to learn it through my experience. And my experience was pretty traumatic. Like, I went through the whole thing of why am I not enough, not just in my job, but in relationships that I held with people with the opposite sex as well as the same sex. When it comes to my friendships, that's what I mean by same sex, and how my reputation was kind of put on the line. So in some lights, for lack of better terms, I was the one that was impacting the room. And with close friendships, I was the one that was shady and unavailable and not flexible to the lifestyle that they wanted to live. And the need of needing me wasn't met. And so those were moments of dark places for me, because it's like, how am I supposed to impact someone else and I can't even keep my circle close and understanding of me and what I have? And so I'm saying all that to say, like, it did started looking up, but I definitely feel like I went through like a dark moment. And I've learned to look at things as moments. And like I mentioned, like, God was showing me in those dark moments, in those moments of uncertainty, in those moments where I felt like, is he even hearing me? And I literally stopped praying. I wrote that down, and just to hear myself say it, it's like, girl, what? Like, you believe God and you love him so much, how can you stop talking to him? How could you stop allowing his word to flow through you? How can you go completely silent and think like you were thinking? Like, where was your faith? Why do you have little faith? Somewhere in the Bible, it talks about that. It asks the question, oh, you people of little faith. And so in those instances, I think back to the scripture where the father came asking for his child to be healed, and he was like, I went to your disciples and they couldn't heal him, so if you will, can you heal my child? And so God said, if I'm God, I'm gonna do it because I'm God, you know. And so I feel like that man, where I was constantly asking God to do things for me, and praying for other people and seeing things manifest for them, but for me, I felt like it wasn't happening. And so I felt like, okay, what's the point of me praying, because I'm not seeing what I've been praying for. I'm getting more strife and hurt and being in a place of darkness before I even see the freaking light. Like, I was just absolutely traumatized to the whole idea of you call yourself a believer and you call yourself a praying woman and you call yourself somebody that words are impactful and you speak life over everybody else, but you're full of darkness. You're upset. You're angry with God. There's no way He's going to hear you now because you're angry. And so I thought that for a very long time. And not to say that I'm not in that season now, but I do believe that God has revealed Himself to me in a different way. And what I mean by different is that true grace. Because no matter how many times I have asked for another chance, He has given me access every time. No matter how many times I don't open the Bible, no matter how many times I don't pray, but when I do make that decision to sit down and be still and to actually ask Him for direction, He does not turn His ear. He does not turn His lips from me. He speaks. And so, in that moment of speaking to me, and He's still speaking, I still haven't got clear direction on what He wants from me. But God is one of grace. He's going to give you the grace that you need to move forward, to elevate the way that you need to, and it's going to be effortless. But it takes you being still and knowing that He is God all the way through. And so, if we were rewind or fast forward, I should say, to now, like I said, I was in a position where I didn't know where my next check was going to come from. I worked for a company since 2009, and I remember saying that was home for me. I felt like I could be completely free there, that I could do exactly what I was called to do, all while working. And so, for those who also know me, I am one that doesn't believe in a 9 to 5. I believe in working from a place of passion, and I still believe that. I believe that money is necessary, but it's not my main focus. It's working from a place of passion and allowing that to exude in my work. And so I applied for a position. It was still part-time, so I wasn't, but it was more than what I originally was getting from my other job, and it was part-time. And so I applied, and I got the job, of course, but another opportunity slapped me in the face because I wasn't looking for it. Keep in mind, this is the girl that was not praying. She was not even wanting to talk to God, and He still showed His grace and put me in a position where I had to bow down and say that He is God. And I used to think that was so gruesome, and it was so dark, and it was so like, why would God want to humble us in that way? But I look at it so different now because He showed me what true grace looks like. He showed me that even when you don't speak to me, even when you don't intentionally seek my face, I still hear the prayers that you've prayed already, and I'm still a God of my promise. And I told you before you opened your mouth that I would give you the things to say, before you opened your mouth, I knew what you were going to pray. And so my prayer life was not just out of the words, it was the moans and the groans, and still listening to the Word of God and allowing it to be a part of my life. And so in those moments, God still spoke. God still said exactly what He wanted to say in those moments, and I live for that. And so not only did I get a job that I was making more than my last job, but I also received a promotion within those 2 months that I've been working. And my work, my name did not go unnoticed. And God promised me before that He would make my name great. And so I always thought that it was something that I had to do. Like, I had to do the work to get to that point. But God said that my gift will make room for me. He said in His word that He would make my name great. And that's the things that I've done. And He did just that. It makes me think back to the son who got all of his things early. He asked his father for those things early. And he walked away. And he went and did whatever he wanted to. But when he got to his low point, he allowed the thoughts of others and the things he did to determine his worth. God said, no. You are still my son. You are still my daughter. And I have great doors opening. Great and effective doors that is open unto you. He said that the adversaries will be great, but His name is greater. God is real, and I don't know who this is for, but I don't know what season you're in. You heard that because you didn't get what you wanted in the season that you thought you would. It's not over. He still has so much in store for you. So much in store. So I want you to take this story and know it's not about the material things or the things that comes along with this job. It's the fact that He still blessed me anyhow. No matter how I treated Him, He still blessed me. He blessed me in here to know that His grace is sufficient. That it's substance. Sufficiency means that it's substance. And now I have something, an experience for myself that I'm not leaning on my mom or my dad or my pastor or my mentors or my friends. Like, this is a personal experience that I can truly say that God showed up for me. Nobody else. He did it for me. He allowed me to change my name, my character, gain my reputation back within myself, because I wasn't trying to prove that to anybody but me. And so I'm grateful. I just wanted to share that with you all. I hope it blessed you all like it blessed me. Thank you for watching Word of Impact. And if you are not following me on Instagram, go ahead and follow me at Sierra Ariel, all lowercase letters. And go ahead and follow the Possible Movement page at Possible Movement on Instagram. And if you're not subscribed to my channel, go ahead and do that. I love y'all, fam. Bye.